Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Dartmouth Memorial Stadium. I'm Evan Massoud. Thanks for tuning in on DCTV, and welcome live to our viewers on YouTube for the live stream. Today, boys soccer once again. We were with you last Friday as the Indians hosted the Durfee Hilltoppers in a tie game. It ended in a tie. And today we have the Brockton Boxers in town to square off against the home team, Dartmouth Indians. Should be a good one. Dartmouth comes in 1-0-1. Of course, that tie was against Durfee last time. Brockton 0-1-1. They lost to New Bedford and tied with Bridgewater Rainham. And a quick whistle here, not even 15 seconds in, and that was really the story last game. Everybody's still getting used to the new rules, which we have actually right up here in the booth now. So I searched high and low, could not find them last time, but now we have a reference point, so we'll keep an eye on the rules in case there's any questions. And that right there was a good example of, what you can do. Number 13 there for Brockton, that was Derson Barros. Playing it off the chest, that is acceptable. Can't use the head, though. So only the chest, no headers, no throw-ins. You're going to see an indirect free kick from the side. And an indirect meaning you have to set it into play first. You can't just kick like a foul kick. You have to send it to a player and then you can kick it away. This here an example of what a regular free kick is. Dartmouth, this is David Rainville the second. Oh, they did go indirect, actually, so my mistake there. That was it. That was indirect as well. Brockton in their road whites, Dartmouth in their home greens. We'll run down the starters for you as they play in midfield. For the Boxers, in goal, number 0, Brandon Deluz. Number 3, Marion Batista. Number 5, Gennaro Reynoso. Number 8, Raul Rodriguez. Number 6, Jeremias Rosa. Number 9, Jaden DePina. Number 12, Zachariah Foster. Number 13, Derson Barros. Number 17, Gratian Morera. Number 23, a sophomore and a captain as a sophomore, Isildur Fernandez. And I'll tell you, coach is really high on him. And then number 24, Helton Brandeo. And Herminio Furtado, the head coach for the Boxers, back once again leading the team. And for the home team Indians, biggest story is that Lucas Batista, who is the senior starting goalkeeper, he came out in the Durfee game last week, actually on the goal that was allowed that tied the game, that Durfee tied the game with at the beginning of the third quarter. He ended up with a bad cut, and he's got some stitches. He actually can't play today, so he is out. So they have the junior, Liam Fogarty, who filled in the second half, basically the entire second half for Batista. Fogarty's in goal. He did a great job stepping up last week, and he's getting the start today. So Fogarty, number 1, the goalkeeper, followed by number 2, Corey Mello, number 3, Andre DaCosta, number 7, Charlie Fairfax, number 8, David Rainville II, number 9, J.P. Kearney, number 10, Matthew Furtado, number 11, Jacob Van Ziel, number 14, Miles DeBarros, and number 15, Luke Caniff, and last but not least, number 24, Mark Good. And, of course, the head coach for the Indians is Josh Silva. Far side we go, and it's Good grabbing it for the Indians. Taken by Brandeo of the Boxers, and now going out of play, trying to stop it was Caniff, could not. And it'll be a kick in for the Boxers. Again, indirect, set it to a player, and then they kick it on. This one coming across the field towards us, and it's chased down by Jalen Mendez, number 18. So already just less than 5 minutes in, and number 18 in there, Mendez, he was not one of the starters, but Coach Furtado already making some changes. That one cleared out by Deluz. a risky play using the foot and trying to kick it out because he had pressure coming from the Indians, and it was kind of a pop fly. It didn't go too far out of the box. Set across the field for Reynoso. Reynoso working his way through the defense. Lost it a couple times and was still able to keep it. Comes across this side to Rodricks. Rodricks with a nice spin move, and now cut off by J.P. Kearney, and we hear the whistle. Just an absolutely fantastic middle of October afternoon for soccer here in Dartmouth. 66 degrees, rather warm for October 14th. And, basically all blue skies. Of course, you see the shadows. By halftime, the field will pretty much be all shadow. The sun will be gone. But for now, they'll have to play with the shadows creeping across. Subbing in is Nicholas Carvalho for the Indians. Takes the place of Charlie Fairfax. Goal kick coming from Fogarty. Lands just shy of the 40, across the 35. And DePina trying to center one. Brandeo saw a little bit of contact there, kind of a push off, and I think that's what the whistle was because it looks like Dartmouth's going to have the kick. There's Coach Silva on your screen as we get ready for the kick here. I do have to give the State Association, MIAA, some credit because in reading through, they came out with guidelines and modifications to the rules for, of course, whatever sports we're playing. And, I mean, it's pretty clear-cut, on what can and cannot be done. Good bullet points, pretty clear and concise rules. I mean, they really did their best, and they didn't rush it. I mean, we really didn't hear until early to mid-August, really what was going to happen. So they did not necessarily just rush all of this stuff out. They did take their time as we're going to have a free kick from just outside the box here. Indirect, they send it towards the net. It's off the uprights and no good. Good attempt there from DePina and Rosa. A couple highlights here, and we did touch on this last time, but, quoting specific language here. So rules within the game. It is a violation to intentionally head the ball. It results in an indirect free kick. It's a violation to place your hands on any part of the opposing team member's body. That also is an indirect free kick. We have an indirect corner kick, it appears. So again, even this, not a true corner kick. Set it in play, kick it back, then fire. And right into the hands of Fogarty it goes. Here's another one. It is a violation to intentionally make body contact with an opposing team member's body. This includes the shoulder-to-shoulder, tackling, which we kind of just saw right there, backing them into, or any other intentional contact. Backing into them, or any other intentional contact. It results in an indirect free kick. It's also a violation to attempt to slide tackle. Another free kick. So, persistent infringement of any of the above modified rules results in a yellow card. So, and that's different also from what we were told last week. So, it's not that the infraction is an automatic yellow card, and that was the interpretation of one of the officials last week. Obviously, that's not necessarily accurate either. So, it's persistent. So, if you're habitually, going in and slide tackling someone, well, out comes a yellow card. I'd say it's 3. To me, it'd be like 3 strikes, you're done. So, a couple of highlights there of what the MIAA had drawn up. There's also some information on restarts. You can find, if you're curious and you really want to read through it all, you can go to MIAA.net, and everything's pretty much there. It's right on the homepage, easy to find. But it's good to have something in print. Like I said, I did search for this last week, and for whatever reason, I don't know if links were not working or what, but I could not find this for Friday. Found it pretty easily today, so perhaps they made some changes to their website. I'm not sure, but needless to say. Off the chest, settled, taken by DaCosta, and then quickly turned back around by DePina as the Boxers continue to really control the pace of play through this first 10 minutes here as tumbling down went Brandeo. It'll be another free kick for the Boxers. They really have not had too many minutes down the other end of the field. The Boxers have controlled play here for the most part. This one, full-on free kick, going down into the corner, trying to keep it in. Wow, that's a great job. Really good attempt to keep that one in bounds. I believe that was Roderick's. It was, number 8 for the Boxers. And right there you saw Kearney. He was down there as well. And Roderick, so, he stopped it. I thought for a second it was actually going to stay in bounds. It took an extra roll. Jonah Correa into the game for Dartmouth. We just saw Jacob Van Ziel come out. Another whistle. I think this might be an offside. Dartmouth with the free kick. Furtado moving back towards the middle of the field. And no good there on the pass. Looks like he was looking for Carvalho, I think, and Carvalho got behind the defender, and the Boxers were able to turn it around. And the Indians will send it in now, Kearney. Kearney sent it to Mello, who sent it right off the thigh of Reynoso. Taken down, there's another whistle, another free kick for the Indians. Matt Furtado there, number 10. Moving upfield. Kearney will kick again. Looking for help. DaCosta, and again, that one deflected as well. That one off of Brandeo, and it'll roll out. And we'll do it again. Cut off by Brandeo. And then he's cut off by Rainville. Sends it right up the field. Full sprint for the ball and clearing it out. That was Mendez. That was an opportunity there for Dartmouth. Just a little out of reach. And that's one of the things that Coach Silva told me before the game here is that, again, we're only 2 games in, but he's got to do better at cashing in on any and all opportunities, especially, again, given the rule changes and how the pace of play has completely been altered. So, when you get those opportunities, they may be fewer and, further between than, say, in past seasons. Got to make the most of them. Got to cash in. And one of the things he actually mentioned was, in losing Batista last week, it was an interesting game because on Friday against Durfee, Dartmouth scored in the first 4 minutes. And it was a beautiful goal. I mean, textbook setup, kick it down, to one side of the net, have it go almost behind the net, center the shot, and someone's waiting there just to bury it. And it was a very hockey-like setup. It was just spectacular. It was a great goal. Then Durfee, playing from behind the whole first half, they didn't tie it up. They tie it up in the third, right at the start of the second half. Actually, it was, I think, less than 3 minutes, and it was a bouncer. It got over Batista, and that's when Batista got his injury, was during that goal when he was chasing down the ball that got past him, and it trickled in. That was the tying score, and that was basically the end of the story. But after that goal, sometimes those kind of weird goals will, will upset you as the opponent giving it up, as the team giving up the goal. And he said he was very proud, Coach did, very proud of the team to, they didn't stop competing. They didn't let it get them down, that it was, kind of one of those, say, soft goals, if you will. No, they kept competing. They did well. Fogarty, again, he did well in the net, filling in for Batista. So, Coach Silva liked what he saw, that's for sure, and they did. I thought the Indians did a good job. They kind of flattened out a little bit in the third after that goal, but they came back pretty strong in the fourth, and actually the fourth quarter was rather crazy on Friday. There were, a number of cards were given out at that point, tons of stoppages. There was some confusion. There were a lot of actual, kind of hold your breath moments for both sides in terms of shots on goal, some real close ones. So the fourth, I'd say, really was the most entertaining part of last Friday's game. But, the two goals that occurred were very early in their respective halves. And, for the most part, the rest of the way, it was just, steady play, steady soccer. Stolen by the Indians. And I'll tell you, Furtado's got some speed. He showed that a couple minutes ago. Full steam ahead, cut off, goes out of play along the sideline. So, not a goal line inbounding here. It'll be right on the sideline, very close to the corner, actually, maybe, 10 yards or so up. Indirect kick, Fairfax. They lose it. And that's a whistle, and it's going to be Brockton ball. A little too much physicality there from Furtado that time, as one of the boxers went down. Brockton will take it over. Brandeo. Ooh, he was trying to pass it through the legs. He was looking for Reynoso, but the Indians able to keep it. Anderson, number 20, he loses it. And now it's kicked out of the side. Closest to us, as Carvalho had gotten a foot on it as well. And there's Kearney going to set it in. Quick clear there from the boxers. And just like that, already back at midfield, much of the pack still behind everybody. Now the Indians' defenders and midfielders getting down the field. There's a lot of open space, though, between the couple defenders for Dartmouth that were, down this end. Off the shoulder. That one going out of play right in front of the far bleachers. And the Indians will kick it in again. Bit of a fake there. I'm not sure that they actually truly indirected that. I think it was a miss on the indirect. And so now it's going to be Brockton ball. Blocked by Anderson. Same spot, really. We'll do it again. So we roll up on the 2 minutes. Pretty quick first quarter here. Again, that was another change that we're playing quarters here instead of full halves, which, if I'm being honest, I really don't like that. I think we were talking about it before the game. Our crew here and myself, and it just really to me, it takes the steam out of the game. It's basically adding a free timeout, like a hydration break in a sense. 2-minute break between quarters. Gives them a chance to take their face coverings off, get some water, and sanitize. So, I get it. Again, I understand it, but for me, that just really, there's enough stoppages that we're seeing because of, infractions to the new rules to break it up now into quarters as well. You're further slowing, the momentum of either side. That's just not something I'm really in favor of. But again, I understand why they're doing it. I get it. It is what it is, At least we have soccer. At least we have sports. Indians had a corner kick. That's a trip, and it goes out of bounds. I think the infraction came before the ball went out of play. This should be Dartmouth ball because of the infraction on Brockton trumps anything else. It is going to be Dartmouth ball. Very little time left, about 60 seconds probably max. So the Indians looking for a late first quarter opportunity. They haven't been down this way too many times. They did touch the ball. Now they kick it. And, the official almost got in the way of that one. Perhaps a little solar glare. Saw it at the last second. Out of play it goes. And the whistle blows. That's the end of the first quarter. So after 20 minutes, we're scoreless here in Dartmouth. Again, a quick break for both sides. A water break, a take your mask off, get some fresh air type of a break. And then we'll be back at it. And they will switch sides, just like we see in basketball or football. They will switch sides here when they come back. So for now, just a quick break, and I think I'm going to do the same. Water break. We'll be right back. Stick with us. Live coverage on YouTube of boys high school soccer. Welcome back, everybody, to Dartmouth Memorial Stadium. Here we are. Scoreless game. Second quarter about to begin. Brockton versus Dartmouth boys varsity soccer on DCTV. Live streaming right now on the web. So if you're watching on YouTube, hello there. Hope you're enjoying the game so far. It was a pretty quick 20 minutes in that first quarter. A lot of action. Not a lot of shots on goal. Not a lot of chances. Just a lot of back and forth. Decent ball movement. I will say that I think Dartmouth's got to do a little better job attacking. Brockton, for the most part, up until really the last 5 minutes or so of this first quarter, Brockton really controlled the pace of play. So, if Dartmouth wants opportunities, first thing they got to work on is, getting the ball onto the offensive attack and, trying to penetrate the Brockton defense. Look at how quick Brockton is to the ball. They're anywhere the ball goes, you see a bunch of white jerseys. They've been pretty quick. It's not to say Dartmouth hasn't been, but Brockton has been a little bit more effective in their defense and moving the ball up to offense. So we'll see which side makes any adjustments. We'll see if Dartmouth is able to kind of forge ahead a bit. Had a good little huddle up there during the break in between quarters. And I'm sure Coach Silva had some pointers, things that he was noticing. So be a kick in for the Boxers. Evan Massoud with you here again, second quarter to begin. No halves. We're doing quarters here for soccer. So second quarter of the first half, and we are scoreless. That one going out of play on the far side. Coming down. Oh, getting by Mark Good was Joe Rodricks. Chance for Fogarty, able to make the scoop. Some contact before the ball came down, and it'll be Brockton ball. Looks like Jacob Van Ziel getting the bad news. That one goes sailing over the far side, the bleachers. Actually went out, though, before midfield, if you can believe it. That's how far it really sailed. So Brockton going to inbound from way up at the 30. Turned around by Mike Van Ziel. Sent towards the box. It's cleared out by Deleuze. Out of play it goes. Free kick. Indirect, waiting, settling, now lofting it. And I think we got an offsides. So Mike Van Ziel break pretty quick. And it looked like he was ahead of the defender there. So, and that's where the free kick coming. So, or indirect, excuse me. Oh, a break. Here we go. Brandeo to the net. Oh, it sails over the crossbar. Wide open net. And he couldn't cash in because he certainly had Fogarty beat. We remain scoreless. Let's take another look. I mean, this is as good a break as you can get. Fogarty, and actually he kind of kicked it right at Fogarty, knocked him down just a little too high. We saw a lot of those on Friday. Again, if you saw the game on Friday with us, there were a number of those as well that actually hit the crossbar, in fact. And, again, those kind of like hold your breath moments, like, is it low enough? Is it going to just get there? And then, no, it just barely denied. A good chance there for the Boxers, unable to strike first. Avery Reed and Nicholas Carvalho coming in. Fairfax making his way down. And Mike Van Ziel also coming out. Looks like Damian Anderson, number 20, going to be coming in shortly, too, as he's chatting with Coach Silva close to the check-in area. Brockton moving the ball ahead once again. Brandeo trying to get it, could not. 2-on-1 for the Indians, but they're not going to get to the ball fast enough. Again, Deleuze clearing it out. Towards the sideline, and it'll trickle out of play. You see the fans standing on the sidewalk there, top of your screen. That's the town hall property. That's not the stadium. Can't be in the stadium, but lined up along the fence. The spectators. It was agreed upon that there would be no fans for the fall stadium, but I understand certain schools are still doing it nonetheless. Dartmouth here sticking true to what was agreed upon. Boxers with a free kick. This is a pretty good spot for the kick. Again, indirect, kicking it back now to Fernandez. Mendez. Now played on the ground by Rainville. Oh, swing and a miss. Total swing and a miss. But there was also contact. So Rosa pleading his case. With a free kick for the Indians. Now I'll tell you one thing that's kind of been interesting to see is there's been some trickery and some creativity with these indirect free kicks on how they want to, first set the ball into play, and as to who touches it first. So it's kind of been interesting to see how every time it happens, it seems to be a little different. I guess it depends on the two players that are actually, setting it in play. But it's kind of interesting to see. This time we have Rainville and DaCosta. Furtado. And another whistle. This time Brockton getting the ball. Oh, excuse me. Dartmouth will have it. All you got to do is touch it. See, there you go. Going down to the corner, trying to set it up. Anderson will have to spin around, has pressure behind him. Has a teammate there to help. That was Furtado. Two boxers were there as well, and it looks like this time Brockton will have the ball. Good idea to try to set something up down in the corner and then recenter it. Didn't work out as planned, though. Cross to Mendez. And that's Danilo Gonzalez, number 18. Pardon me, number 21. 18 was Mendez. Mendez 221. There he is in the middle of the field. Barboza as well. Everybody's getting involved here for Brockton. Now Marion Baptiste. Towards the sidelines it goes. Kept in by Rodriguez. And that's coming right towards us. Off the bleachers it goes. Slowed by Barboza, spins it around, has the middle of the field here, looking for an open man. He has him. That's Vega. And before it goes out of play. Brandeo lost it there. Still up that part of the field, though. Boxers were able to control it a bit and not let it get too far past the 30. And out of play. Less than 10 minutes to play before the end of the half. Second quarter here past its halfway mark. Centering pass, and it is played still in bounds. The Indians got to clear it, and they will. Mark Good, full steam ahead, finding Reed down the sidelines. Oh, overshot it. Anderson couldn't slow himself up. If he had, he probably would have beaten Fernandez to the ball. He got on the wrong side of him, and the ball trickled past. That's another good feed. Back to Reed. Taken away. Down towards the goal and out of play. Nice little surge there from the Indians. That's kind of what we need. We haven't seen much of that through this first half of play. Deluz will kick it away. Coming around. Barboza to Rodrigues. Rodrigues loses it. That's a push. Yeah, absolutely. Covert or not, you can't do that one. That's not going to fly no matter what situation we're in. No pushes in the back. It's not football. Ooh, that almost went. Wow. Rainville was not ready, I don't think, for that. That almost went out of play. Indians almost gave up the ball right where they were inbounding. Indians trying to push the ball up ahead. Again, kind of rubbing shoulder to shoulder there. As Anderson was trying to break free. Back towards the middle. Down into the corner it goes.
Jake, come on. Jake. Come on.
And it trickles out on the goal line. Just over 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Still tied, and really the only true chance we saw was for Helton Brandeo of the Boxers, number 24, when he had that breakaway about 10 minutes ago. That's been really about it. Been hard pressed for either side to really get deep into the other team's zone. It'll be Baptiste setting it into play, kicking it back to Fernandez. Mendez across to Gonzalez. Caden Lopes up the field. Good pass. Again, a lot of contact. And out of play. Yes, Coach Silva. I asked him about, some of the consistencies or inconsistencies or confusion with the new rules, and he said, the first game they played, it was really tightly officiated in terms of, like, contact, everything, like any little thing. But then, last week against Durfee, it was a little bit more, I don't want to say lax, I guess lenient would be a better term, in terms of, rubbing shoulder to shoulder and or elbow to elbow or whatever. And kind of seeing the same thing today, too. I mean, there's been whistles, that's for sure, but there's also been a fair amount of physicality, which, again, if you're going by the letter of the law, technically is not supposed to be the case. But I think really what it's going to come down to is interpretation and how the officials just want to call it. And it's going to be Brockton ball after the Indians had an indirect kick. And it was blown dead basically when the ball was released. That's out of play. Now, something I just noticed, another thing we were talking pregame, Dan, one of our cameramen today, he was here with us Friday as well. He said, how are the officials doing the whistles? And I said, because we noticed that it didn't seem like the same whistle. And I'm thinking, well, I don't know. I said, they shouldn't be blowing a whistle. And I'm thinking, well, how can they blow a whistle? They're wearing a mask. They're not lowering the mask to blow a whistle every 5-10 seconds. Well, now we're seeing it close by, and I don't know if we have a stoppage. Maybe we can see our official close by. He has a whistle in his hand, basically an air whistle. It's like a horn, like one of the air horns. But it's actually a little orange whistle in his hand, and that's actually how they're blowing the whistle. They're activating it. It's a handheld whistle. So pretty cool, because I wasn't even thinking that they can't obviously blow a whistle with a mask on. There it is in his right hand. So that's the whistle right there. So good catch from our camera guy Dan, because I actually didn't pick up on that. I saw that they had something in their hands last week as the first half comes to an end, scoreless, but I actually didn't realize that it was literally like a handheld device. So pretty cool. Even the officials having to be a little innovative, keeping the mask on and still finding a way to blast our favorite noise in soccer, the dreaded whistle. All right, we'll leave you with that. First half done. We're scoreless at Dartmouth Memorial Stadium. Second half coming up next on DCTV. Live coverage will continue on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to Dartmouth Memorial Stadium. Evan Massoud with you on DCTV. Second half about to begin. It'll be Brockton setting the ball in play. We are scoreless. Both teams already with one tie on the season. And haven't seen, again, really many chances except for that guy right there, Helton Brandeo. Had a breakaway early in the second quarter, and that was it. Had a great opportunity and couldn't cash in on it. Other than that, it really has been a pretty even draw. Again, Brockton with some advantage, I'd say, in terms of ball control and kind of playing up on the offensive attack. But Dartmouth came back late in the second quarter there, and they had a pretty good surge and a pretty decent time where they were down on the offensive attack and really forcing Brockton to play defense. So Dartmouth kind of, evened it out a little bit. I'd still like to see a little more from the Indians, but you can see, Brockton's got a bit of a size advantage as well, so that, doesn't help you. But Dartmouth has the speed. Dartmouth is a fast team. And here's a chance for the Indians as, big collision! The whistle was blown too before, like literally a split second before that collision happened. Both guys getting up with a bit of a limp, but seemed to be okay. That was crazy. That was violent, actually, is what it was. Lucky that nothing bad happened, though. I do see Deluz looks like need a... Yeah, the goalie, Deluz, I think he's coming out. Actually, I stand corrected. That's not Deluz, that's Santos. Coach Furtado put Zachary Santos in his first attempt here, and he's got, bad limp. He's coming off, and Deluz is going back in, the starter. So not quite sure the thinking in terms of subbing out one goalie for the next, especially when you're in the middle of a game. It's not like there's been any problems, but Deluz was on the bench to start this third quarter, the first 60 seconds of it, and Santos, unfortunately for him, only getting 60 seconds, having to come out. He made the call himself. He knew something wasn't right, and he actually waved to the official and said, "I got to come out." So he's being tended to as well. That was, for Dartmouth, probably the best chance of the game, to be honest with you. And had that ball been just, 1 mile an hour slower, might have been able to get the kick off. Both guys whiffed on the ball. They collided with themselves. Coming back to the corner and out of play. That was fired right across the 50-yard line from Brandeo. And much stronger than it needed to be. It sailed into the bleachers on the far side. Back towards the circle. Kicked up ahead. Brockton with a chance. Nope. Cleared away by... That was Caniff. Chance again now. The Boxers, no, it's spoiled. Oh, still in play in front. Can he make the turn? He cannot. Cleared out by the Indians up front. It was Barbosa, who was trying to turn it around for a shot on net, and he ran into the defenders and wasn't able to do it. Towards the box, sent towards the net, and it is wide to the left. A great chance. The Indians take the lead. Buried into the corner. Jacob Van Ziel. Almost a carbon copy of what we just saw a couple minutes ago, but this time had a little more ball control, and he beats Deluz, burying it into the corner. 1-0 Dartmouth. Perfect pass up ahead, played onside, settled, and Deluz beat. Look at that. Literally burying it in the corner. Big time score early in the second half for the Indians. And as we all know, anytime you play with a lead, doesn't matter how late you get that lead. When you play with the lead, things are always a little different for you. So big time score there for Dartmouth. They lead it 1-0. Anderson trying to get around, could not. Boxer's trying to get it out of the zone. Backpedaling is Rogansley Richard, having to clear it as Deluz. Big time kick. Played off the chest. And out of play it goes. Playing along that far sideline. And a whistle is sounded. Bunch of subs getting ready for Dartmouth. 4 of them, in fact, on the sideline. You see Nicholas Carvalho. Now just 3, in fact. So not 4, just the 3. Well, that was close to a header. And a whistle. I think that was, did they get away with a header? I wonder if they did, because that ball bounced. That doesn't bounce off your chest. I mean, that ball came off with force. And it was pretty high up. That looked like a header to me. And both officials watching the ball pretty intently, so I doubt that it was. I mean, they would have blown the whistle for that, but free kick from the 20 for Fernandez towards the net, wide to the right. No good. Carvalho coming in for Dartmouth. We also see Jonah Correa coming back in, as well as starter Miles DeBarros. So 3 guys coming in for Coach Silva. Coming out is Anderson, Fairfax, and Jacob Van Ziel, who just scored that goal. Now a free kick for the Indians from just outside their own box. Trainer just came in with the John Deere, bottom of the screen. Actually off screen, I should say, but on the sideline here. And they are carting Santos, the goalkeeper that came in for Brockton to start the third here. He's being carted off. Trouble for the Indians as Fogarty came out and was on the ground. Got very lucky that Dartmouth didn't give up a goal. I just saw the cleat was off of Santos' foot and it was on ice, so I want to say it was an ankle injury, and that was the limp. It wasn't necessarily a knee. It looked like the ankle injury. It is Furtado. Indirect free kick. Already 10 minutes played here, or just about 10 minutes played in this third quarter to start the second half. Want to welcome you back. If you're watching on YouTube on our live stream, we do apologize. YouTube, one of the things that's been a challenge is, so many people reverting to, I mean, we were doing it last year, so it's not necessarily new for us, but with so many people switching to live streaming to do virtual stuff, YouTube and Google, they've been changing stuff weekly, and sometimes their algorithms are a little funky. So we did get crashed a bit there for a moment, but we welcome you back. We do apologize for the break. Indians did score, unfortunately, during that little blackout, so we'll show a replay of that goal momentarily. Now that you're back, we'll cue that up on the next stop. And it was a sweet goal, too, from Jacob Van Ziel to put the Indians ahead. That one out of play, and we'll have a goal kick. Coming across the circle it goes. Stopped by Mendez. Redirected quickly as Carvalho was trying for it. And look at that. It goes all the way down into the corner and out of play, and that's where Dartmouth will have it. Big time clearing from the Boxers to get it all the way down, and nobody was there, so it just kept rolling. J.P. Kearney will inbound. Back up the sideline it goes. A lot of contact there between Rodrigues and Furtado, fighting for the ball. Going across the field side to side, trying to spread it out a bit. Corey Mello coming in, sticking the foot out to block it from Brandeo, who is ready to try to strike again. That is sent right to him, played off the chest. Can't control it, comes back, and a whistle is sounded. Looks like Brockton's going to have it. Pretty good spot as well. Anytime you're inside the 20, I mean, it's a real good spot to kick from. So Brockton ball. Here, Coach Silva coaching from the sideline here. Set in play. Free kick is on the way, and it is no good from Joseph Vega, number 22. Too high and too far to the right. And once again, Kearney kicking it off. Lofted back from Fernandez all the way back down toward the box. Brandeo giving chase along with Luke Caniff. Some shoulder bumping. That'll draw a whistle. Caniff know it. He knows it. And that was on a foul, so this is a straight-up free kick, and it'll be Vega once again. This one low-lying. Didn't really get much elevation on it. And the Indians cleared it out for a second. Brockton still posing a threat. Pirouetting and going down on his own power on the far side. One of the Boxers. Now the Indians push it all the way down the other side of the field. Pretty wild sequence right there. A lot going on in a short amount of time in a small area. Everyone fighting for position. And you know, too, one thing, since Dartmouth scored, Brockton's got a little more physical as well here. It seems like there's a little bit more aggression from the Boxers. More subs for the Indians. The Van Ziel brothers coming in as well as Anderson.
Correct, correct, correct. Take this, take this. Put your mask up.
Hooking kick went right towards the middle of the field. Brandeo surging down the sideline. Body checked by Mello. They both go tumbling down. It stopped him in his track, but to me, that should be a foul on Mello. And a yellow card. There's our first. It's only a matter of time. And that means he's got to come out as well. So coming in for him is Rainville. Free kick from basically the corner of the box, just inside the 10. On the ground, deflected, and it'll be picked up by Fogarty. Actually pretty uneventful.
David, you gotta stay central. Central.
Rolling all the way out to the side, right along the bench, and pretty close to the truck, actually. Just under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter here, and there is a, head to the hands. All right, the Indians scored while we were blacked out on YouTube. Again, we apologize for that, but take a look at this sweet goal. This is why Dartmouth is up 1-0. Van Ziel got in front and buried it in the corner, much to the delight of the fans that are lining the sidewalk just outside the gated stadium. And now our second yellow card. J.P. Kearney picking it up. But really, that was a sweet goal from Van Ziel. Got a good feed from the back, played it onside. So that's why we are 1-0 here in the third. That one came about 10 minutes of game time ago. Maybe, actually, I think it was around the 5-minute mark of the third. So, like, with about 15 minutes to play. So it was during, unfortunately, again, that blackout. But we do welcome you back. Thanks for coming back to us. And we do apologize for that break in coverage on the live stream. Of course, if you want to see it in real time, this will be replayed on DCTV. Because we're recording as well, backup. So there was no blackout on the record part here, just on the stream. You can blame YouTube. So we're going to get a redo here. And it's going to be Vega trying to send it. And it's off the crossbar of the goalpost for football. And no good. Clock has stopped at the 2 minutes, so this is any stoppage time that we have before we switch sides for the final time for the fourth quarter. Or the second half of the second half, dare I say? That's some alliteration for you.
Charlie, you gotta get back. Charlie, you gotta help. Charlie, get back.
Barros can't get around Van Ziel. Now they send one toward the box. Bounces once. Looks like it might have gone off the foot of Rodriguez before going out of play. It's Dartmouth's ball. Rodriguez is like, where's the call? And there's the elongated whistle. That means we're done with 3. But Dartmouth breaks the ice early in this second half. They have themselves a lead, and they continue to hold it 1-0 Indians after 60 minutes of play. 2-minute break here in between quarters. Again, players will get to, distance themselves and demask, get some fresh air, take a water break before we switch sides and play the final 20. So see if the Indians can hold their lead and pick up win number 2 on the season. This would be a big one. Brockton comes in 0-1-1, so they haven't won a game. And these games, because again, we're kind of in this little bubble, if you will. 6 teams, the 5 Southeast Conference teams plus West Bridgewater, who didn't have a conference because the Mayflower Conference isn't playing, but they decided to play. So they're joining us, West Bridgewater Wildcats, that is. So 6 teams only playing each other, and that's it. So, for Brockton, if they end up losing this one, they go 0-2-1. That's kind of a tough place, and that's kind of rare for Brockton to kind of be in that situation. Coach Furtado did say, been a little bit of a rough start. It is a younger team. They're kind of rebuilding a little bit. He said so, and it's more challenging, too, because they're rebuilding with new rules, of course, too. So you don't have the same rules that you've been playing with your whole life. Then you come into high school, varsity level, high pace, high intensity, and then you're also having to kind of recreate how you coach and how you play the game. So, yeah, absolutely. It's about adapting. We talked about it on Friday. It's going to be about who can adapt the quickest to changing times, changing situations. Games change all the time, and you have to adapt. Well, now you have a different aspect of adapting as well. So it's twofold. It's a lot. And, Brockton, don't worry. I mean, they'll be there at the end of the season, I'm sure. When we get to playoffs. There will be playoffs. I don't want to get too far ahead here, but just in case you're wondering, for those, again, who may not know everything that's going on, but basically there will be playoffs, but it's only going to be these 6 teams. It's going to be basically just a sudden death elimination style bracket with just these 6 teams in this grouping of play. Here's that goal one more time. The lone scorer of the game as Van Ziel beats DeLuz. We do hope that Zachary Santos, again, who was in the game just before that and then had that collision, we do hope he's okay. He was carted off the field. It looked like an ankle injury because they had ice around his foot and the cleat was off, but now there's an ambulance in the town hall parking lot, and he's getting off the John Deere with our trainer. So looks like he's going to end up having to go, I guess, I'm assuming for some x-rays or something. So that's bad news for Brockton. It does appear, though, that the ambulance is for Santos, the backup goalkeeper or the second goalkeeper, I should say, not necessarily a backup, but the second goalkeeper. Yeah, that's Santos on the stretcher, so they're carting him to the ambulance, and going to have to obviously get more medical attention on his foot. So that's a real tough break. We wish him the best. You never like to see any injuries, especially anything severe enough where they got to call, EMTs. But unfortunately, injuries are part of sports, and sometimes they rear their ugly heads. So we wish Santos the best, and the Boxers, hopefully they'll get some answers on their teammate soon, because I'm sure they're thinking about him too. All right, fourth quarter has begun. Evan Massoud with you on DCTV. Hope you're enjoying the game so far. Been very entertaining. I'd say this has been a little bit more entertaining than Friday's game. I don't know. It seems like there's been a little more action, at least for me, a little more evenly split the action. Brockton's going to have a corner kick here. But again, I think it's indirect, given that Mendez is coming up. Yep, it is indirect. So, and that one trickles out of the box. Coming back down. Full steam ahead, Van Ziel. Pulls up. 1 versus 2. Can he get through? No. Right on the sideline. And it is going to be Dartmouth ball. Caniff will kick it in. Back to DaCosta. Brandeo was right there, but DaCosta clears it. Big time, quick clear. It got all the way across the field, and Van Ziel was there, kind of fighting with Rodrigues for the ball, and now it's cleared back towards mid. chance now for the Boxers. Oh, a collision. Another rather ugly collision, in fact. Yellow card handed out. And that card is on the sophomore captain, Fernandez. So Feliciano Silva coming in to replace him. Free kick for the Indians. Again, from a good spot. Anytime you're inside the 20. Boxers putting up a wall of players. Now, technically, they're not supposed to. Yeah, I see the official coming in. They're not supposed to be within arm's length. That's 6 feet, and they're right on top of each other. So here we go. Chance for the Indians to try to go up 2-0. On the ground, and it is good! Oh, it got by Deluz on the ground. I don't know how he didn't stop, but it wasn't hit all that hard. But nonetheless, the Indians take a 2-0 lead here in the fourth on the free kick. Perfect placement. We'll see this one again. Let's see which way Deluz breaks. Top left of the screen. He broke the right direction. He just didn't fall fast enough. The ball it didn't have too much steam off the foot, really. I mean, it wasn't the hardest hit ball we've seen, but good enough, I guess, right? 2-0 Indians, 17 minutes to play. Another free kick coming for Dartmouth. Towards the net it goes, and it's cleared away. And out of bounds. Another collision. Man, oh man. Barros for Brockton and Rainville for Dartmouth. Rainville's still on the ground. Hooking. And it's going to go all the way to the far sideline and out of play. And now the Indians will get to inbound, but first, coming in, Nicholas Carvalho, substitute for Rainville. Every Brockton player in the vicinity signaling handball And it appears that that was the case. So now Brockton with the free kick. Got to make something happen soon. Really only one or two good chances, I would say, for Brockton. It hasn't just been, some games you see where it's like, shot on net, shot on net, shot on net, and then you get nothing to show for it. And then, today, for Dartmouth, the free kick and then the goal up front. I mean, but really, you look at it, and I'd say in the field of play, Dartmouth's had maybe 3 solid chances for a goal. And it's weird how sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. I can recall one season covering girls soccer in Fall River, covering Durfee, and it's incredible where they had every game easily 10, maybe 12 shots on net, and that's probably conservative, but I mean, like, legit full-on, like, breakaways even, and then they couldn't cash in, and then they lose the game 1-0. I mean, and it was the same thing every game. Now, and then you have a situation today where, the chances have been there, but the real close, like, coulda, woulda, shoulda type goals, there were a few, and that's it. Just a handful between the two teams. But Dartmouth's up 2-0, so, go figure. Every game's different, and it's just kind of how the cards fall sometimes. Sometimes you can do everything right, and you still come out on the short end of the stick. Ball is in play. Furtado comes in to grab it. Taken away by Barrows, who's working his way up the sideline, finds Brandeo, and here we go. Look at the speed from Brandeo, but can he get it stopped? Great centering pass, but cleared out by the Indians. Great job from Dartmouth. Kearney was up there, and then it was cleared out and sent all the way down the sideline. Great save there from Fogarty. Looks like another card was given here as we see Vega out of the game. And our official there taking notes. And this is kind of like what we saw on Friday as well, that the card started showing in the 4th. So officials kind of letting stuff go through, 2 to 3 quarters and kind of cracking down a bit in the 4th quarter. I'm not quite sure, what constitutes it versus what doesn't constitute getting one, because it's clear that, these players are playing rather physical and very, very similar to what we would see any other time, So I'm not sure exactly what the officials are looking for, but there must be some key factors and things that they're really just focusing on, and that's it, and not necessarily every single strict violation that, or strict rule that has been handed down. And as we go under 10 minutes here in the game, we finally have a field with no shadows, no light. It's actually all shadow, so no difficulty seeing on either side, no advantage from playing on one side or the other. Basically all shadow as the sun is set behind Slocum Road. Lights are on. Well, that's pretty cool. You know, when you get LED lights, you hit the switch and they're just on. There's no warm-up. Wow, what a great chance for Brockton. But Brandeo, I don't know if he wasn't ready for it, but he had wide open goal on the left side there. All he had to do was stick the foot out. So we'll call that one a missed opportunity for Brockton because that should have made it 2-1. I would say that was a great set for Mendez down in the corner. Free kick. Baptiste. He has Mendez to his right. I would assume he's going to send it towards him. And he does. Mendez kicks it off. Floater. And it goes out of play. And while they set this play, I'll let you know what's up for these teams, what's next on their schedule. All right, next game is Friday. Brockton will be at West Bridgewater. So Brockton's got another road game on Friday the 16th. And Dartmouth will be next door at New Bedford, just down the road. Another free kick. Here we go. As the clock continues to roll here. 6.5 to play. Oh, here we go. A break for the Indians. Oh, and he lost his balance. Mike Van Zyl had nothing but open turf in front of him. And he just lost his footing. That one through the uprights. And I hope the tree stops it from hitting my car. It's rolling right towards my tire and underneath. Get it out. Well, that would have been a cool field goal. That ball had a lot on it, but unfortunately those uprights are just there for show. And Brandeo got to bring it down a little bit to have it count. Rainville up the sideline to Jake Van Zyl, and Jake is pushed down. A lot of contact there, and I'm surprised that didn't call for a whistle. We've seen whistles for much less today. Very surprising. I mean, Van Zyl fell to his left. The opponent was to his right. It's not like he had someone to lean on. He got pushed the other direction. So an interesting no call there. Good stop from Mello. DaCosta stops it, and now Anderson going after it. Able to get around the defender, and we hear a whistle. Hey, that's a killer right there because, yeah, I know technically, right, we're not supposed to, no contact. To me, that should have been clean, and Anderson is going right around him. But instead, you know, the wind in the sail goes away with the whistle, and then play gets stopped, and you got to kick it from the spot of the infraction, the violation. I would have been nice to see that play continue on toward the box. Time running out for the Boxers. Just over 3 minutes to play, and Dartmouth's doing a good job of keep away. Ooh, Anderson might have taken an elbow to the face. See, he got basically like flatlined. He went backwards and down. And a yellow card, and that'll most likely be the day for Feliciano Silva, who came in to replace one of his teammates who had also gotten a card. Towards the net, off the uprights, and no good. Let's take a look at that yellow card. Let's see what happened to... Yeah, a little contact from Silva right there. I was going to say there was a... Might have sold... No offense, but might have sold it a little bit too. I'm not saying this is, you know, Montreal Canadiens. No. But I'm just saying, you know... The elbow looked, at least on the close-up replay, the elbow didn't look as close to the face as I thought it was in real time, but nonetheless. And here we are, 2 minutes. Clock has stopped, and the Indians look to just kind of run it out here. See. Try to pick up win number 2 of the season, looking pretty good. This would be a big win against Brockton, that's for sure. Young team or not, Brockton always comes tough to play. Oh, here we go, a chance. Oh, Deluz able to make the stop. Anderson had a chance. That one back out of play as well. Fairfax will inbound. Gets it to Carvalho. That one coming towards the bench and the bleachers. And that's the game. The Indians win it with 2 second-half goals and grab their second victory of 2020. They're 2-0-1. Brockton picks up loss number 2. 0-2-1 is the Boxers' record with this one going final. Big win for the home team. So 2 wins, no losses, and a tie. Not too bad after 3 games, especially when you consider that Dartmouth is the lowest division team in this Southeast Conference. Again, you know, not counting West Bridgewater because they're an add-on this year. But you know, when you go strictly on divisions and stuff, you know, Dartmouth is the only D2 team. So they just came in and they took care of Brockton with the shutout. 2-0 the final score. Great game this afternoon, really. fun game to watch. Again, a lot of, I'd say a lot more physicality than I would have expected to see, but it does make for a good viewing experience, that's for sure. And very entertaining ball game. So we hope that you enjoyed it as well. If you want to see a replay of it, of course, it'll be running on DCTV this week. For our great crew behind the scenes, thanks for tuning in for more high school sports coverage. Enjoy the middle part of the season. I'll be seeing you towards the end of it for another match. I believe I'm on tap for girls soccer towards the end of the month. So until next time, Evan Masters saying so long from Dartmouth Memorial Stadium.